Hey everybody, Nashville Keto Gal here. This is my first video that I'm making for this page. I hope that you're all having a great day. It's Sunday. I have just been literally relaxing, doing nothing all day except catching up on Netflix and binge watching Wentworth. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It is amazing. 8 seasons. I'm on season 6. Every season gets better. Anyway, back to keto. So I thought usually my days off, I have a couple of days off that I'm actually not working doing hair. And those are the days that I like to cook and prepare my meals for the week so that I don't get stuck not knowing what to eat and then possibly eating something that I shouldn't eat. So I'm loving the keto, loving that I'm doing it right, eating a lot more fat than I ever have been, and it's working. So I'm gonna stick to it and share some recipes with you. So today, my first recipe is a dessert recipe. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with this fabulous dessert. It is called cajeta. I'm getting it out of my cupboard. And it looks like this. I have not touched this for a little over a month since I started doing the keto. And you can see how much I like it, because almost over half of it was gone from before this. And I really, really miss it. The flavor and just, you know, just being able to have like a little tablespoon of it or something, or putting it on my keto pancakes in the morning would be really, really good. But I'm committed to not doing the sugar because I feel so great. So I am going to make it. This is by Coronado. I've had this dessert ever since I was a little girl, growing up with my brothers and sisters, and everybody knows how much that I love cajeta. So it's traditionally made with milk, cow's milk or goat's milk. So today I'm going to be making it with goat's milk, and I have no idea if it's going to turn out, because this is the first time that I've made this with a sugar substitute. And I'm either going to be using monk fruit or allulose. I'm not sure yet, one of the two. But if you're watching this video, that means that my recipe turned out. Yay! So stay tuned, I'll be back, hopefully. Bye. Okay, so here we go with our keto Mexican cajeta recipe. I've got all my ingredients. I have my goat milk. I have my sugar substitute, which I'm using the Whole Earth allulose blend, and it has allulose, erythritol, monk fruit, xanthan gum, and a little stevia in here. And I like this one. There's not really an aftertaste. I put it in my coffee, and it's really, really good. So I am going to attempt this. I also read that the allulose doesn't crystallize like some of the other sugar substitutes do, so this is what I went with. I also have pure vanilla extract, and I have baking soda in my little container. We're just going to do a little bit, and what that does, after I did my research, I learned that it helps all of the ingredients to cook a little bit longer and caramelize without burning or turning color too quickly. So that's what that's for. And then a pinch of salt. So here we go. I'm gonna get my little saucepan here. We're gonna pour in a whole can of goat milk. And that's the brand I use, but you can use whatever kind of goat milk that you want. I'm gonna do about a half a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and you can also use, if you just have like vanilla bean, you can do maybe like half of a bean in there. So there's that. And then with the sweetener, I'm going to use 1/4 of a cup, and so there's my 1/4 cup, and then 2 more teaspoons of it. I just need a little more because with the allulose, it's really not equal parts. You have to use a little bit more. So if you're doing a recipe that calls for a cup of sugar, you want to use like a 1 1/3 of the sugar substitute with the allulose. Okay, and then I'm going to do 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda. So just 1/8 of a teaspoon, and a pinch of salt. So I'm just gonna take a pinch, and that's that. I'm gonna throw the extra in the goat milk can. And then we are going to stir this up. And then we're going to heat it over medium for about 15 minutes, or until the milk gets until the milk gets frothy and kind of light colored, sort of foamy. Then after that, we're gonna turn it down to simmer and let it simmer for about 45 minutes and just keep stirring it occasionally. So I'll keep you posted. Fingers crossed this works. Be back soon. Alrighty, so I just wanted to show you all what's happening here. It's light in color, it's foamy, we're almost there. We have about maybe 4 more minutes left, and then we're gonna turn the heat down to simmer. Keep stirring this occasionally with a heat-proof spatula for 45 minutes, and hopefully we're gonna have some Keto Cajeta. Stay tuned. So the cajeta is coming along really nicely. I'll show you in a minute. But in the meantime, I decided, since I was cooking a Mexican caramel dessert, that I would enjoy sipping on a little tequila. This is Anejo tequila. Anejo means aged. It means it's been aged in a barrel for at least a year and no more than 3. This one is 3. This is Viquera. It's one of my favorite tequilas in the whole world. And I'm so excited that it's available here in Tennessee. It's made by women. Meli Barajas Cardenas is the owner of the distillery, and she makes this brand, which is really awesome. It's owned by a brother and a sister out in California. They're friends with Meli, and they collaborated for this very beautiful añejo. It has a lot of notes of caramel and vanilla, and it will be perfect to have with this Keto Cajeta. All right, everybody. Cheers. I'll be back in just a few to show you what it's looking like. Okay, so I turned the temperature down so that it just simmers. I set my timer for 45 minutes, just so that I stay on track with how long that it's cooking. It might be done sooner, it might take a little longer, and as you can see, it's already starting to caramelize. See that on the spoon? And that is what we want. So you don't have to stir it the whole time, but just give it a good stir kind of throughout that 45 minutes. And if there's a little extra on the spoon, you can taste it. Anyway, I will be back with the finished product. You and tequila make me crazy. So, as you can see, it's getting creamy and it's getting the right color. It's not quite done. Has a little longer to go. But so far so good. Keto Cajeta. Okay, y'all, I'm very happy with the way that this turned out. I'm stirring it so that it gets creamy and all those little dark pieces you see get incorporated in with the rest of it as well as it can. And I think next time I'm gonna make a bigger recipe. Most of the recipes that I saw called for 3 cans of goat milk. And so I just decided, since I was trying it, I would, just use a can and just make a smaller batch to see if I liked it. But I will finish stirring this and getting it cooked and get it in a jar and show you all the finished product. Look what he's doing. He's trying to get me to eat carbs while I'm doing my Keto Cajeta video, which it turned out, everybody, it's really, really, really good. Like as good as the real deal. So I just made a small batch using the 1 can of goat milk and the proportions of ingredients that I told you, because I wanted to try it first and make sure it was good before I made a whole big batch. But I will be making a whole big batch because this is awesome. I put it in a little mason jar. I'm gonna let it cool, put a lid on it. I'm gonna store it in the fridge. The carbs in this is 3 grams of carbs for 2 ounces of goat milk, and it was a 12-ounce can of goat milk. So do the math. If you want to eat, you know, a good majority of your carbs for the day, I guess you could eat this whole thing, but you know, a tablespoon over some pancakes, keto pancakes or keto toast, or some strawberries or blueberries would be really good as a snack, or if you're doing it with pancakes or toast for breakfast. But it is delicious. The color is beautiful. I mean, it looks, smells, tastes like regular cajeta. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. So here's to my first Nashville Keto Gal video recipe. Thank you all for watching, and hope you have a great weekend. Cheers. One more is never enough. Salud. Never enough.